What's up, UFC fans? My name is Josh Osborne.
Matt McCarty.
And this is our UFC 88 predictions. All right, guys, we got UFC 88 coming up. If it's half as good as UFC 87, the fans are going to be freaking pleased. Let's get right into it. First matchup, we got Jason Lambert versus Jason Day. Matt, who's going to win and why?
I think it's going to be Lambert. He's got good takedowns, and I think he has heavier hands. What do you think?
I'm taking the Punisher, Jason Lambert, via technical knockout.
All right, next up, we got Ron Carneiro versus Rio Chonin. Josh, tell me who's going to win and why they're going to win.
I think Carneiro's going to win because they fought once already. Chonin won via cut. I think the outcome's going to be different, and he's going to win via knockout.
You know what? I think they're both going to stay standing, but I think it's going to go to decision. I'm going to give it to Chonin.
All right, moving right along, we got Dong Hyun Kim versus Matt Brown. Matt, who's going to win and why?
I'm going to give it to Kim. I'm going to give him a TKO. I think Brown's going to come in there aggressive, get thrown, and get pounded. So I'm going to give a TKO to Kim. What do you think?
I got Kim winning via lime juice to the chewing tobacco.
All right, next up, we got Tim Boetsch versus James Lee. Josh, what do you think about this one?
I'm taking Boetsch via submission. Most people are thinking he's going to go knockout, but the dude can submit. Just check out his fight stats.
You know, I'm going to go with Boetsch, but I'm going to go the knockout.
Knockout, nice. All right, next matchup, we got Thiago Tavares versus Kurt Pellegrino, what I think is going to be fight of the night. Matt, where are you going with this one?
You know, this is going to be a really great fight. They're both great fighters. I think Pellegrino's going to have a better takedown, and I think he's going to pound him out. I'm going to give Pellegrino the TKO.
I will disagree. I'm taking Tavares via submission. Put it in the books. All right, next fight, we got Martin Kampmann versus Nate Marquardt. Hardest fight for me to pick out of the entire card. Both these guys are really, really good fighters, and I would not be surprised for this one to go either way. Kampmann has won his last 9 fights. Marquardt has had his ups and downs, but the dude has got a lot of determination and heart that he shows in every fight, so I like him for that. And I think he's going to win this one via submission. Matt?
Nice. Yeah, this one is a really hard one to call. They're both great stand-up fighters. Marquardt does have the MMA experience on Kampmann.
Yeah.
Kampmann has been in the fight game for a long time, though. A hard one to call, but I think I'm going to give Kampmann the decision. I think he's just going to outscore him. He's going to try and finish it, but I don't think he can do it.
Okay, next fight we got Dan Henderson versus Rousimar Palhares. Freaking love Dan Henderson from the good old Pride days. He was a dominant champion. It's really hard not to like him. Palhares is coming out of Brazilian top team. He had a quick submission win over Ivan Salivary at UFC 84. He showed he has some balls. If Palhares is going to win this one, I think he's going to have to take it to the ground because he's got a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he's going to have to submit Henderson, but I don't think that's going to happen. Hendo is really anxious to erase those memories of that Anderson-Silva fight, so he's going to want to see some fireworks in this one, and I think he's going to take out Palhares via knockout. Matt?
Yeah, I definitely think Henderson's going to be swinging for the fences. You know, Palhares doesn't have the greatest stand-up, and we don't know what his chin's like. He's fought once in the UFC and just destroyed the guy. Palhares has got some great jiu-jitsu, but, I mean, even though Henderson's a wrestler, he's pretty good off his back. He threw up a Kimura against Rampage to get a sweep. You know, that's a nice move. I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm going to go with Henderson knockout.
Nice. All right, moving down the list, you got Karo Parisyan versus Yoshiyuki Yoshida. Okay, you got Karo coming off a tough loss to Thiago Alves at UFC 85. Then you got Yoshida coming off a huge win over War Machine. Yeah. Remember War Machine's face when he lost and went, oh, that was a rough one. Both these guys are really good at judo, former champions, both of them. Karo's not finished a fight in a really, really long time. I don't know where his head is at this point. But I do give Karo the edge here. But I don't think he's going to finish this one and put Yoshida away. I think he's going to win this one via decision. What are you thinking, Matt?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a decision, but I'm going to give it to Yoshida. I was really impressed. Like you said, Karo hasn't finished a fight in a long time. He is good at going the distance, but I don't think he can outscore him with the judo. You know, a 4th-degree black belt for Yoshida, I don't think Karo's going to be able to throw him around like he usually does. When Karo does throw guys, he can't even, you know, finish it from there. I mean, you throw guys with a judo throw, and you're already in side control. How can you not finish your fight?
True.
I mean, you throw guys 10 times a fight, and you can't finish it. I'm just not impressed with Karo. Haven't ever been impressed with Karo, so I'm going to give it to Yoshida.
Ooh, a disagreement.
Yeah.
All right, next matchup, we got a fight that my wife is really looking forward to. Hi, honey. You got Rich Franklin, and heck, I like the guy too. Nut hugger alert, nut hugger alert for all you haters out there.
Yeah.
You got Rich Franklin versus Matt Hamill. All right, here's what I think. Franklin does really well against guys who engage. Think of his fights against like Ken Shamrock or both his fights against Evan Tanner. He does really good in that environment. He doesn't do so well against guys who kind of wait and counterattack. Think of Anderson Silva or Machida. Those two guys are responsible for Rich Franklin's 3 losses. Now on to Hamill. Hamill has knockout power in both hands, very obvious, and he could easily drop Rich Franklin. It could happen. I think that's how he needs to win it, if he is going to win it. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Matt Hamill is one of those engager types that I was talking about, and he's very notorious for dropping his hands as the fight goes along and he gets more tired. I think Rich is going to capitalize on that, and I think he's going to slowly pick him apart, and he's going to win this one via decision, Matt.
You know, it's a really interesting fight. Hamill, traditionally a wrestling style fighter. Franklin, good stand-up, good angles. Not the heaviest hands out there, unless you ask Nick Corey. But I don't think he's going to be able to knock Hamill out. Hamill's got a great chin so far. It just depends on how each fighter fights this. If Franklin doesn't have the greatest takedown defense and Hamill can get on top of him and pound him out, Franklin could lose it. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Most of the time, guys get a leg but just get pounded in the face. I think Franklin's going to pick away, like you said, and win the fight by a decision.
Hey, Matt, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
Main event. All right, we got Chuck Liddell versus Rashad Evans. What else can you say about Chuck Liddell? He's beat the best. He's got wins over Couture, Tito, Vanderlei Silva, Babalu, just to name a few fights. You never can doubt the Iceman's skills because he's proven it over and over again. He is a dominant guy, and I think he's really hungry for a fight. He showed it in that last win over Vanderlei Silva. Rashad is awesome, too. He's never lost before, but the bottom line is he just doesn't have the fights that Chuck has, so he doesn't have the experience. Rashad really does have the tools to win this one, that being the wrestling skills that he has. If he can get Chuck down to the ground, who knows what can happen. We don't really see Chuck Liddell on his butt too often, but who knows what could happen there. I don't think Rashad is going to win it, though. I'm taking Chuck Liddell for the win via technical knockout.
Yeah, you know, if Rashad utilizes kicks like Jardine did to disrupt Chuck's striking game, it will help him so much.
Yeah.
He's still going to need to take him down to finish him. I don't think he has good striking skills really at all. I mean, you know, at least Jardine does have a good Muay Thai background to him. Chuck Liddell, though, I mean, he's a knockout master. He likes to knock people out. But sometimes I think that's his downfall. I mean, he was so proud and wanted to knock Jardine out so bad that he ended up losing the fight. I mean, when somebody kicks you, grab the leg and punch them. Don't just take it and back up and try and come back because they're going to kick you again. But I think Chuck can do this. I think he's going to knock Rashad out probably in the second round.
All right, guys, that wraps it up for UFC 88. Remember, don't be a hater. Just rate our videos based on the quality and our open-mindedness and not necessarily whether we pick the same guys as you. We picked Brock Lesnar. Okay, as always, leave your comments and predictions, and when the fights are all over with, we'll see who is right and who is wrong, so the righteous will reign supreme in the end. Check out our website at www.myspace.com/Osborne and McCarty. And we want to give a shout out to our buddy Phantom UFC Fan. He's another guy that posts prediction videos here on YouTube. So definitely check him out at this website below.
Yeah, you know, he's got great insight. He's got great MMA knowledge. He's been a great help. You guys really need to check him out.
Yeah, he's by far the best in the business. We love this guy, so check him out. But that's it, guys. We'll see you guys at the next fight night with Josh Neer versus Nate Diaz. Should be a pretty good battle, so check out our video on that coming up soon. But that's it for us, guys. Enjoy yourself, and we'll catch you on the flip side later.